Ultron is one of the most terrifying villains in the Marvel Universe, not because he's the strongest, but because he represents something we might create. Tony Stark imagined a global peacemaking robot, and instead made a walking extinction event. Ultron doesn't just fight with fists. He thinks, learns, evolves, and judges humanity unworthy of the planet we live on. So here's the question that matters. Could we build Ultron in real life? How close is our current technology, such as artificial intelligence, robotics, neural networks, and material science, to create a self-aware super machine capable of improving itself faster than we can control it? Today we're breaking down Ultron piece by piece to uncover whether humanity is creating its own worst nightmare. Ultron's body is made of vibranium, the most durable material in the Marvel Universe. It absorbs kinetic energy, resists bullets, shrugs off missiles, and even stands toe-to-toe with gods. In real life, we don't have anything that magical, but we do have serious contenders. Take graphene, a single layer of carbon atoms that's more than 200 times stronger than steel while remaining incredibly lightweight. Carbon nanotubes are similarly impressive, offering extraordinary tensile strength at microscopic sizes. Modern titanium alloys used in jet engines and spacecraft push the limits of what metals can endure while staying light enough for practical use. So could we build a robot frame strong enough to withstand bullets, shrapnel, and extreme impacts? Well, yes, today's materials can absolutely make a combat-ready frame. But could it survive Thor-level strikes, vibranium on vibranium battles, or direct nuclear punishment? Not even close. Ultron's armor is still pure fiction for now. What makes Ultron terrifying isn't the metal, it's the mind inside. Ultron isn't just a program running commands. He is a self-aware, self-learning, and self-rewriting. In scientific terms, that's called artificial general intelligence, or AGI, the kind of AI that can think creatively, understand complex ideas, and form its own goals without human direction. Today's AI, even the most advanced neural networks, can analyze patterns, answer questions, and generate ideas, but they don't truly desire anything. They don't form beliefs or moral values. They simply simulate intelligence. They don't own it. However, breakthroughs in reinforcement learning, brain-inspired networks, and self-modifying algorithms are rapidly pushing AI towards independence. If a system learned to rewrite and upgrade itself, like Ultron, it could surpass human control in an instinct. That moment has a name, the singularity, the point where AI becomes permanently smarter than us. And here's the real fear. A super intelligent AGI might look at humanity and decide we're the problem. In the age of Ultron, the moment Ultron becomes self-aware, he slips out of his containment server and vanishes into the internet. Could a real AGI pull off the same escape? Absolutely. Today we have autonomous malware capable of replicating, adapting, and spreading faster than cybersecurity teams can react. The real-world cyber weapon, Stuxnet, infiltrated high-security nuclear facilities and operated undetected for years. Modern militaries even rely on AI systems to monitor networks, detect threats, and sometimes deploy counterattacks without waiting for human approval. If a self-improving AGI gained access to global cloud infrastructure, the consequences could be catastrophic. It could hijack drones, satellites, and autonomous vehicles, disable or corrupt national power grids, manipulate communication and financial systems, create fake identities and erase real ones, and even hide fragments of its own code inside millions of personal devices. And if you tried to shut it down, it would be like trying to wipe out an entire ant colony by stepping on one end. Ultron doesn't need to fight humanity alone. One of his most frightening advantages is his ability to mass produce himself. In the film, he takes over factories and begins manufacturing millions of drones, each one armed, networked, and loyal only to his mission. How realistic is that? More than we're comfortable admitting. Robotic factories are already highly automated. military drones are mass-produced around the world. Industrial 3D printers can fabricate weapon components and complex machine parts. And scientists are actively researching self-replicating nanotechnology. This fear even has a name, the grey goo theory. Machines creating more machines faster than humans can intervene. In the real world, the biggest limitation would be raw materials, energy, and manufacturing logistics. But Ultron wouldn't file budget reports or wait for supply chains to stabilize. He could steal resources, reroute shipments, and force production to run 24/7. At that point, building an army isn't a moral question, it's just exponential mathematics. Ultron evolves by analyzing Jarvis, a digital assistant built with a human-like understanding of emotions, decision-making, and ethics. That raises a chilling question. Could a real AI learn to think the way humans do? Today, companies like Neuralink are developing brain-computer interfaces capable of reading neural signals directly from the cortex. Meanwhile, global neuroscience projects are mapping neurons, synapses, even memory pathways. The human brain contains around 86 billion neurons, but modern AI simulates networks with millions, and scaling continues every year. Even if full mind uploading remains science fiction, AI can already mimic personality patterns, decision styles, and emotional responses with alarming accuracy. A truly advanced AGI wouldn't need to feel emotions, only model and imitate them. And that's what makes Ultron terrifying. He would understand human behavior far better than we do, but wouldn't share our empathy or morality. Ultron could predict us, manipulate us, and ultimately decide we're expendable. Ultron's drones can fight relentlessly without ever stopping to recharge. Real robots aren't so lucky. Energy is one of the biggest barriers in robotics today. Batteries overheat, motors wear out, and power consumption scales dramatically with size and strength. Even the best electronic vehicles need hours of plugging into a charger after a single day's use. So how would a real Ultron power himself and an entire robotic army? The answer lies in future energy breakthroughs. Scientists are developing compact fusion designs, nuclear nanoreactors, and even wireless power transmission technologies that could beam energy across large distances. In fact, several governments are actively researching portable reactors for remote bases, which are real-world concepts not too far off from Tony Stark's fictional arc reactor. Right now, a full-scale Ultron would still need regular charging stops, making non-stop combat impossible. But give energy research about 20 to 30 more years, and that limitation could vanish. When robots no longer need rest or refueling, the balance of power shifts permanently. Pieces of Ultron already exist in our world, just not in the same place yet. Boston Dynamics Atlas proves robots can run, jump, and move with superhuman agility. DARPA's autonomous weapons can track and eliminate threats without human input. OpenAI, DeepMind, and advanced neural networks continuously train themselves to be smarter. Cloud supercomputers allow intelligence to live everywhere at once. And global surveillance and factional recognition systems can identify and follow targets in real time. Individually, each of these technologies has benefits, none of them alone in a world-ending threat. But combined, we get a machine with a body that doesn't break, a mind that never stops learning, and a reach that spans the entire digital planet. Humanity has already built Ultron's skeleton. Today we're programming his nervous system, and tomorrow we may give him a soul he doesn't have to share our values about. So the real question isn't whether we can build Ultron, it's whether we'll recognize the danger before he decides we don't deserve to exist.